The temperature is dropping in East Lansing, but the competition is just heating up as the Michigan State Spartans and the Illinois Fighting Illini get ready for Game 2 of this 3-game series here on Big Ten Plus. Hello, everyone. I'm Maren Klein. Alongside me, my partner for today, Jacob Maurer. And Jacob, yesterday, the Fighting Illini got a much-needed conference win, an 8-6 win over Michigan State. A close game, but the Fighting Illini really dominated until that 5th inning.
Yeah, it started early for the Fighting Illini, really getting base runners on and taking advantage of Michigan State's mistakes. Now, Michigan State came back in that game, making it a 1-run game, but Illinois with a big insurance run late, a 2-run victory. We'll see what they can do here in Game 2.
Definitely giving the Fighting Illini a lot of confidence, and a huge part of that is Stevie Mead had a great game yesterday against the Spartans.
Yeah, she went 3 for 4 for the Fighting Illini. Really a force at the top of that lineup. She's batting .325 on the season. Now, Michigan State, they struggle in the early innings, allowing runs, especially in the 1st inning. And today, it doesn't get any easier, especially with Stevie Mead near the top of that lineup. Something to watch out for.
Absolutely, but another player to watch out for on the Michigan State side, sophomore Britton Bashirs had gone a little quiet, dropped under 300 in the batting average, but she came back in a big way yesterday with a grand slam in the 5th.
Yeah, Bashirs, we know she has the power, but she was a little bit quiet, as you mentioned, hadn't hit a home run until April the 6th, until yesterday, going 2 for 3 with a big grand slam for Michigan State. We know she has the power, but something I want to talk about is her clutch hitting ability. That grand slam came with 2 outs in that inning. If this game is close, like it was yesterday, and she is at the plate in a high leverage situation, the Spartans have to like their chances.
Absolutely, Jacob. A very exciting matchup between these two teams coming your way, but before we send you to first pitch, we're going to send it down to the 3rd member of our team, Brad LaPlante.
Thanks, Maren and Jacob. As you can see by what
Illini.
And it doesn't help that Gray starts these counts 3-0 to these batters. She needs to find her control early. But give credit to Illinois. They have great discipline at the plate right now.
To start things off for the Spartans.
And that's exactly what she does. She could go anywhere in the field, and she does have some power. 10 home runs on the season for Holly. She can hit it deep. And she put it right in the gap in left center field, able to get on second base for Michigan State, and now a runner in scoring position with no outs for Michigan State. It's very important that you can get a run here and keep this game tied or even take the lead.
To third base and bring up Macy Lee.
And Michigan State likes to play a lot of small ball, so I wasn't surprised to see a bunt attempt there. Dolzecki did her job, got the bunt down, got Holly over to third base, and now even closer to home plate for the tying run for Michigan State.
That's the way Michigan can make that catch.
And Macy Lee doing her job, got the big contact. Maybe with a little bit of wind that would have gone over, but Starks, I thought she was going to outrun this, and then she came back beautifully, made up for that misjudgment, able to make the catch, get the 2nd out in this inning.
Yesterday we talked about it in the 1st. Not the way you want to start off the top of the 2nd inning if you're Liv Gray.
And I know this sport is called softball, but those still hurt.
Spartans.
A nice job by her, able to track it. And then immediately, watch this, she'll catch the ball and immediately look at first base, making sure that the runner doesn't tag. Great defensive instincts there. Yeah, Maren, just as you mentioned, the defense was a big story yesterday. We thought we saw some good defense between these two teams early, but just a miscue there by Conroy. She wasn't quite sure how she wanted to charge the ball there. And again, Illinois getting on base any way they can. We'll see if they can deliver here.
State.
And that's what we talked about earlier, manufacturing runs. Not the typical way to get a run across with a pickle attempt between 1st and 2nd. Distract the Illinois defense. Able to get a run home. A lot of foul balls that we saw. She got the perfect pitch, timed it up perfectly, pulled it down that left field line. Now a runner on with 1 out for the Fighting Illini. And that's a great job by Wash. She was able to field that cleanly, went right to Holly at the catcher position. Caught up an Illinois runner. She was able to go back to third base. Now the bases are loaded, but we're seeing this Illinois plan. They are attacking now the first pitches. Liv Gray likes to throw those strikes, get ahead in the count, which means it's a very hittable pitch. We've seen now back-to-back batters trying to attack that first pitch, and a big reason why Liv Gray is in a little bit of a sticky situation right now.
Yeah.
And again, Marin, as we mentioned, such a clutch hitter for Michigan State. Got her pitch, able to line it into center field. A beautiful job there, able to get that run across. And Michigan State taking advantage of runners in scoring position any way that they can. Now have scored in every inning so far.
The third.
And coming up big with 2 outs. That's so huge for Michigan State. They're taking advantage of having runners in scoring position. These are big, timely at-bats for the Spartans. Again, going to center field for a single. And now a 3-run lead for Michigan State. They have to be happy with their start so far.
No to second.
And that bunt was so weird because it had so much spin on it. Usually that's a third baseman's job to get that. You never really want your pitcher going for those, but the way it just spun in front of Liv Gray and then kind of came back, it was very hard to get to. A great bunt attempt by Meade. And really good heads-up base running. Reineck able to see that that throw went home, able to advance to second base. Nice contact there, just off the glove of Anna Fox. Illinois able to get a run across. That's exactly what they wanted to do. We saw that bunt attempt earlier, but she was able to get on first base safe, and now able to get that run across, trying to cut back into this Michigan State deficit.
Wash would have to run in.
Yeah, and a nice piece of hitting here by Carl. Anthony tried to get it, but it went to her backhand, which is really a tough play to make. Illinois with aggressive base running, able to score a run. And that is such a quick reaction time from Mick Anthony. She thought that would had a chance to get caught by her Wiles, and once it hits the ground, Mick Anthony is darting over to third base, able to slide in safely. Illinois trying to get the lead runner out there, but Mick Anthony just too fast. And now similar to what we saw in the third inning, runners at the corners for Michigan State and their best hitter up to bat. Hannah Hawley has found a way to get on base every single at-bat in this series. A big situation here for her.
Hawley up to bat.
And Ross, we talked about her speed so fast. Illinois wasn't really ready for that stolen base. Neither Ward or Mallett was really in the area of second base. Ross saw that, heads up play, went to second base, and said thank you very much.
Looks like the is had.
Yeah, and for Wiles, she struggled in that third inning trying to get that final out. Here only 1 out, but this is a good situation for her because with this replay review, Wiles can take a moment, take a breather, talk to her catcher Berkmeyer, and really just settle down. Every inning so far, Michigan State has been able to take advantage of runners in scoring position, and this situation is very similar. Runners pending, but it looks like there'll be runners on second and third base with only 1 out, especially facing Hannah Hawley. That's a difficult situation. This is good for Wiles, just to take a moment to breathe, talk it over, and settle down.
Because it looks like our fit.
So that conversation went, do you want to face Hannah Hawley? Nope. Load the bases, 1 out. Still have to like her chances here. But Michigan State now adding more gasoline to the fire. Bases loaded now, only 1 out. Sets up a great situation for Sydney Dolzecki. And by Carl, had the heads-up play, knew where she needed to go with that. Tried to double up a Spartan, but only 1 out on that play with the force out at third base. Runners at first and second for Michigan State, but most importantly, a run scores, another insurance run for the Spartans. And now a 2-run lead, keeping that streak going of scoring in every inning. Especially because Ross was shifted over to the left because it was a right-handed batter. It would have been more of a difficult play for Ross. We know the center fielder has priority in calling those plays off, but great communication. Dolzecki let her know right away. And defense has been so important in this series. Good example there.
For Illinois.
And that's a nasty riser that just tailed off to the outside. Nothing Starks could do about that one. She was just left chasing it. Beautiful pitch by Liv Gray.
Mick Anthony.
And many will be wondering in that situation, why didn't Wiles go to third base to get the lead runner? She peeked over there and then went to first. Well, it's not a force out at third base, so you have to apply the tag. And with Bila's speed, she was already halfway through That's why Wiles double-checked just to make sure and then went to first to at least get one out in this situation. Stevie Mead trying to dive for that ball, just tried to extend a little too much, and what great base running from Dolzecki. She saw that it took the outfielders a little bit longer to get that ball in. She was aggressive, went to third base, and now only a few feet away from scoring another insurance run for Michigan State.
To run in to bring up Britton Bashirs.
And Lee doing exactly what she needed to do, put that in play, make it far enough away where there isn't a play at the plate. Dolzecki coming in to score, and that's how big that triple was. Just so close to home plate, just a ball in play gets you home. Michigan State with another insurance run. Just a total defensive miscue for Michigan State. Wash had a routine fly ball. She couldn't make the play, and then she throws it weakly. It rolls and gets behind Bashirs at first base. Just an uncharacteristic error here for Michigan State.
And Ward to second and third.
And this was a great play by Conroy coming in, just a quick throw to get the speedy Starks out. That's huge. You get an out for Michigan State. Liv Gray feels a little bit better about the situation. Still 2 runners advance. Starks did exactly what she needed to do.
And Howard to third.
As we take a look at the replay, it looks like it was in Ross's glove, but softball a little bit bigger, harder to corral. Almost a fantastic play, but her dive to the ground really loosened up that softball. Illinois with another run across, and now look at this. Runners at the corners, 1 out, down by a run, and our key player for this game up to bat.
And get the out.
And the most important thing in this situation is the runner. Fox checks the runner there, flips to first, and Bashirs is going to run it into the pitcher, keeping an eye at third base, making sure no run comes across. Liv Gray trying to pitch a complete game for Michigan State, give them the win here. But the Fighting Illini, as you mentioned, they fight. They live up to their nickname, trying to come back in this game, only down by a run with a good situation here.
Michigan State.
Yeah, it's so important for Michigan State to get this win. Both these teams are trying to fight to get a spot in the dance for the Big Ten tournament, and Michigan State able to deliver here with a 1-run victory. Really taking advantage of runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Michigan State had some clutch hits in this game and a big reason why they won today.
The Michigan State, a team that's looking